During your placement year, you will be required to create a presentation as part of your assessment for the placement year module. This video has some tips to help you make the best presentation you can. What is the presentation? The presentation is about reflecting on the skills and progress you made during your placement, as well as looking forward to the remainder of your time with the company and setting goals for yourself. It is also good practice for future interviews, when you will need to talk about yourself, your skills, and your work experience. Your presentation is worth 20% of the overall assessment mark, and will be presented to your placement tutor, your supervisor, and any other colleagues you may wish to invite. It is 20 minutes long, plus 5 minutes at the end for any questions. Here is a small list of content we suggest you include in your presentation. A brief summary of the organisation. A brief summary of your role and responsibilities. Reflection on the skills you have developed. Discussion of your progress since the first placement visit. A reflection on the contributions you've made as an employee. A reflection on the contributions the organisation has made to you. Goals or aims you would like to achieve in the remainder of the placement. Advice for future placement students, and tips for making the most of their placement experiences. Learning criteria. These are the criteria which you'll be marked on for your presentation. Critical reflection. You should demonstrate the ability to reflect on your learning and development over the course of the placement. Understanding of placement processes. Demonstrate a detailed understanding of the role, responsibilities, and key principles used during placement. Understanding of the organisation. You should demonstrate an analytical understanding of the external environment and competitive context in which the organisation operates. Communication. Communicate information, arguments, and business content to both specialist and non-specialist audiences with appropriate expression, pace, and tone. Effective visual aids. The quality of visual aids, clarity of written expression, and organisation of ideas. The next section of this video contains some hints and tips for delivering a good presentation. Plan your work. It is important to plan. Think about the key points you want to cover, but bear in mind the 20-minute time limit. You probably won't be able to include everything, so prioritize the most important points. Using the suggested content in the module handbook can be really useful here. Why not copy and paste it into a Word document and construct your plan around the bullet points? Use visual aids. For many, this will mean creating a supplementary presentation you can talk in front of. This could be in PowerPoint, Prezi, or any similar presentation software. Remember to think about the facilities you have in your placement organisation. If you want to make a PowerPoint, do you have access to a computer or screen to show it? If not, think about an alternative. For example, creating a handout for your audience, or using a laptop instead. Visual aids are great at helping communicate key points to your audience, so try to be creative with it so it keeps them engaged. Don't go overboard with it, however. Adding too many effects and transitions can look tacky, and bombarding your audience with walls of text can be overwhelming. Keep it simple. Include pictures, key points, and any graphs and figures you may want to talk about. Remember, if you use images taken during your placement, you will need to reference them appropriately. Practice makes perfect. Rehearse your presentation. Practice by yourself, then when you are feeling confident, consider getting some feedback from friends or family. Most importantly, Make sure you keep to the time limit. It might be a good idea to time yourself when you practice, so you know you are meeting the requirements. Proofread your work. Check for spelling mistakes or unclear expressions. Also check that you are meeting the requirements. Are you covering the key points from the module handbook? Communicate clearly. Speak clearly, take your time, and don't rush. Make sure your audience can hear you and make eye contact with them so they actually feel like you're talking to them. Try to stay calm. Take a deep breath. You know what you're talking about. The more flustered you are, the more likely you are to make mistakes, which in turn will just make you more flustered. You can reduce your nerves by ensuring you practice your presentation so you know what you have to say, by making flashcards so you don't forget anything, and by planning ahead and anticipating any questions you may receive from the audience and how you would answer them.